Hello, everyone. It's been a little while since I've been on my YouTube channel to talk to you all. I have actually been on an epic trip. I was working in Thailand at the sanctuary in Koh Phangan at a beautiful retreat run by my Wonderment family, Chris and Jess, and that was fantastic as part of the launch for my Water Alchemy Oracle. And then I went down under to Sydney, Australia to surprise my dad for his 80th birthday, and I ended up very synchronistically speaking at the Mind Body Spirit Festival in Sydney before flying back here to London to sing at the Mind Body Spirit London Festival. And one of the topics that I wanted to speak on today is planetary service and grid work. I've just started running my 6-week World Angel program again, and I'm running that for the next 5 weeks. We've already had week one. But there's some themes coming through that I felt I needed to, well, actually, I was really guided to share with a bigger audience and with the audience on here a little bit about what grid work is, what being a world angel is, and what earth service is. Because since I did my really wonderful interview with the lovely Pam Gregory, I've had a lot of incredible people come forward, and really specifically, I've had a lot of incredible women come forward and connect with me. And a lot of these women have been working really diligently and silently in the background, just doing their work. Most of them having a bit of a tough time of it, actually, and working on their own and not really feeling like they have had much support around them in terms of community or people who are at a level of consciousness that really understand the wisdom of their work. And this video really is for those key placeholders on the planet. What I'm seeing playing out, what my guides said to me was going to start happening, is that there would be a council of light forming on the earth plane in terms of humans. I mean, I haven't actually really thought too much about what I'm going to say about this. I'm here with no makeup really other than lipstick and in my glasses. But I was really, really pushed to come and talk about this. And this Council of Light is not a ticketed event. It's not something you have to be invited to join. It is a choice. And it's a choice made through the heart to, honor that we're part of a bigger collective, to honor that we're all part of the oneness of the divine. And I'm finding that a lot of the people that have stepped into that level of service, it seems to me that they're really, really old souls that have done this lifetime after lifetime. And we're seeing on the planet, and what my guides are showing me is these, they call them key placeholders. Many people are being moved around the planet a little bit like a chessboard. So if you're one of those people who feels a sudden call or a really overwhelming call to pick up your life and just move somewhere else, and I know there's a number of us that have done that in our time. I did it when I was just 21, picked up from Australia and moved to the UK and knew I had to be here. And I don't know if there's another move on the cards for me soon. I'm sort of feeling ructions of that. But if you're one of those people who really feels that, just know that your soul is calling you into your earth service, and that there's a huge network of people available to you that are also doing this work. And you can just put a call out from your heart to say, show me my network, show me my team, link me up with these people, because we're all being connected now. I really feel like we're being connected now, and my guides are being really, really clear about this. This is a placement and a position that has traditionally and divinely been held predominantly by women. And this is not a sexist thing. This is not negating men or the masculine at all. But women have a womb, and a womb space which connects into the womb of all creation, and is a very, very specific caliber of light worker, grid worker, who is female, who was part of originally that group of wise women that would traditionally be the wise woman, be the healer, be the wise elder of the feminine within any group, village, society, community. And we're seeing a reawakening of the appearance and the emergence of these wise women again now. And I'm just finding it pretty revelatory. And if you're a man that feels guided to that work, you also have a really key purpose in being a placeholder. But also, I'm seeing a lot of these sacred unions coming together where people on an awakened path have got to a level of sacred union within themselves where they've balanced their masculine and feminine, and now they're teaming up to work together. And whether that's in a love relationship or a platonic relationship, a lot of these twin souls are platonic and working on just such a high frequency. It's not necessarily that they need to be in a couple. I think there's been a lot of distortion around the twin flame label. It really is about sacred union within, balancing our masculine and feminine, and then following the call through unconditional love to where we need to be and what we need to do and how we use that love. In terms of grid work and working in earth service, grid work for me has always been what I've been guided to discuss as grid work is the ability, almost, this is my experience of it, the ability to see the fabric of reality, which looks like a series of grids, and to be able to reweave the fabric of reality through our inner alchemy, to clear away any lower or distorted energy grids and lines and raise the frequency of the whole earth through the earth's etheric and astral and energetic fields to grids of light, to recreate our ascension grid work to one that is more loving, more harmonious, more peaceful, more united for the earth. And if you're somebody who feels called to do that work, it's as easy as visualizing and seeing the whole earth just as this beautiful network of light. Just, you can send healing to the whole earth by seeing the etheric scaffolding as the earth as being completely healed, no holes in it, no, like a beautiful web of light around the whole earth. And the more of us that do that and hold that frequency of peace, love, and unity for the earth, the more we're actually helping to lift her up and to lift up humanity. And that is really one of the simplest processes you can do in earth and planetary service. The other thing that I was shown today is this us and them programming, this divide and conquer distortion that's been playing out in our human consciousness and in our day-to-day lives. And I mean, we've seen this in the pandemic, and I'm not going to say the word, but whether or not you got the or didn't, that was one thing of turning people against each other and trying to divide and conquer. There's been a lot of this, and I'm not going to name specifics around this. You'll know where it's turning up in your own life. And I'm seeing this, this is played out on a personal level, but also on a global level. Anything that seeks to put you into a state of fear or make you feel separated from your loved ones or put you into a state of suspicion, it's not based in love. And there is unconditional love really comes with a level of discernment, and it's 111 on my clock as I record this, which feels like Holy Trinity, unity, masculine, feminine, and Holy Child. And we really are finding our way back to love consciousness on this planet, and that can be tricky. There can be as we move through the layers of our karma and our childhood and our memory, and we're finding our way back and rewiring ourselves from a long period of time where we have put our power outside of ourselves, the power of our authority And we've constantly been expected to go, oh, someone else is in charge. What would they do? And what's the right thing to do in accordance with somebody else's will and authority, rather than what does my divine will and authority guide me to do? What is right for me might not be right for another. And we're really finding our way through. So compassion is really absolutely needed as each of us as individuals comes back into our own power. I know myself as a human, I have historically been the people pleaser. And it can be really easy when you're disentangling yourself from the people pleaser program to almost see yourself as being mean or cruel just for wanting to be in your own space again. And sometimes you might even attract in people that would accuse you of being cruel to them just because you're coming back into your own place and your own space. So you must have compassion for yourself as well as you go through this disentanglement from that old programming. And my higher self, my team, they also want me to make everybody aware of, we've even been giving our power away in terms of our divinity. We've been seeing the divine as something outside of ourselves. Many of us have been feeling this sort of crossroads energy in the last sort of 6 to 8 months, where it's like, oh, what do I do next? There's almost been this timelessness, which I spoke about in a previous video of, I've been waiting for guidance as to how to proceed in my career, maybe my love life, my finances, even where do I go on the planet. And many of us have been feeling like we've been stuck in a bit of a hiatus and I don't know where to go next. I'm waiting for instruction. I'm waiting for my guides or my higher self to tell me where I'm going next. But actually, there's been a huge flip. And the power has come back to us. Many of us working at that level of consciousness are actually being asked to put our hands on the steering wheel of our own lives and choose. But it's really hard to choose when you don't really know what you want. And one of the things that the guides are saying is we're coming to a time where we're starting to get comfortable in asking for what we want and what we need as a collective, without fearing repercussions of, am I going to upset somebody else? Is somebody going to get angry at me? Am I not going to be there for others? Letting go of any guilt for asking for what we need and what we want. And even just coming into that place of knowing what we want, because that power has been so conditioned out of us and taken away from us for such a long amount of time. And I always go through these huge processes on a personal level, and I have to kind of go through it, and it can make me feel very discombobulated at times. So I have to kind of take a step back, let it percolate, go through it in my own personal experience, which of course is part of embodying the work. And sometimes feeling completely all at sea, and then I kind of come out the other side of it and I'm able to clear through the energy and the grids that have created the manifestation of that program, and I'm able to say I don't accept that in my life, and realize that actually where I'm at is not a crossroads at all. I've actually been sitting in the center of everything with a myriad of choices open to me. And this is also mirrored in the collective. So if you're one of those people that's feeling like, I'm in a crossroads, I don't know which way to turn, instead of seeing it as a place of disempowerment or feeling lost or feeling stuck, see it as you're getting your power back. You just have multiple options open to you, multidimensional options open to you, actually. And also don't be afraid to sit back and wait until you know what you want before you proceed. We're being given back our power. And what my guides are showing me is that it's okay just to say, I'm not moving yet. I'm not making a decision either way or in any direction until I really know what I want. And it can be a case of dipping a toe in, trying little things on for size, maybe trying different experiences and really meditating daily on, what do I feel like doing today? What do I feel like doing moment to moment as we disentangle ourselves from that matrix of power and control? And it's actually, I'm now feeling it as quite a refreshing thing. I feel a lot of joy coming in around this. I feel like, I'm not beholden to anything or anyone. I can do what I want. What would I want to do? And seeing it more through a lens of curiosity, joyful curiosity, rather than through a lens of fearful insecurity. And, it's our emotional awareness and intelligence that really is the guide on this. I'm seeing a level of telepathy opening up on this planet as well. So we're also claiming our power back from where we've been manipulated through our emotions, especially the empaths and the sensitives and those really living from the heart. This is a coming back into our center, coming back into a space of knowing ourselves, really knowing what we want so that we can't be lied to. That level of telepathy that has been on an emotional level for so long, where we've been feeling each other, we can feel each other's emotions, and many of us can actually tell when we're being lied to just by someone saying one thing, and we can feel what's going on with them. So that's also something that historically, I know for me, when I was younger, when I was particularly in my teenage years, used to make me feel very insecure because I would think it was me imagining it and I was the problem. And now I can really see clearly when somebody is saying one thing and they're not feeling the truth of their words as they say it. I can really feel that. And rather than turning and gaslighting myself or thinking I'm the problem or blaming myself, I'm just seeing it for what it is. I'm holding compassion for them, but I'm able to negotiate and navigate my way forward in my truth. And sometimes that means you have to disengage from people or take some space in order to get back to your own clarity. And you're absolutely within your rights to do that. When you need to take space, when you need to say no, when you need to sit and wait out decisions before jumping in, you have absolute sovereign right to do that. And you don't need to make excuses to anyone about where you're at. You know, you reserve the right to not know until you know. And this is a really powerful place to be, because until you know, there's a beautiful place of neutrality, of unconditional love and neutrality that you can sit in. And, you know, I even really recently I saw this in myself with the whole thing that was playing out with the Dalai Lama. Was that abuse or was that not abuse? Was that a cultural traditional thing or was that something that was a very dark thing? And for me, I was really asked to sit in non-judgment before choosing a side. And this pick sides thing that we're being asked to do on this planet so much at the moment, it's really, I think, causing a lot of problems. And you know, we don't need to go to war with each other. Unity, love, consciousness is I can love you in your difference of opinion. Let's let people be who they are. Let's let people shine as they are. You know, let's try to see the best in each other and in ourselves at the same time. We can love each other in our difference. And it's from that place of neutrality, unconditional love, and non judgment that we can often tap into what is known as divine right action and divine integrity. And then we can get the highest level of information to navigate our way forward. Because there's also been a lot of distortion historically on our planet where people who are actually innocent have been made to carry the guilt for those that have not been acting in divine right action. So I tend not to kind of get caught up in what I'm being told in news and media, and I tend to get a lot more of my information by sitting back, looking at all the pieces, coming into neutrality, and then really tuning into my own highest divine truth and my feeling awareness. And I have lots of different channeling protocols that I go through before I really engage with that. And before I pass judgment on any person or situation, I've usually done a lot of work in the background these days before jumping to conclusions or going out into judgment. And obviously, on an individual level in your own life, if you feel that somebody is causing harm to another, for example, if that was a situation that was to do with child abuse, we each have to come to our own truth. And this is how, as a community, we also step up and protect each other and protect our children and protect the innocent by really taking stock of what's really going on and looking through the glamour of where we might be being hoodwinked, because a lot of this is happening on our planet at the moment. So this is about true divine discernment from that highest place, and really looking, really seeing through the stories that we're told and the rhetoric that we're being fed, and finding that own truth within. And that's really where I sit, especially having been put through my paces in this day and age. And this translates, when I look at the energy grids on this planet, when a group can come together in unconditional love, as I'm seeing in my World Angel group at the moment, even with differences of opinion or different perspectives on things, when we can love each other in that, we're helping to reweave the tapestry of creation on our planet into a more loving, harmonious society. And I find that really, really super beautiful, because there's no two of us that see the world the same way. We all look at the world through our unique individual lens. So even if we agree on something, even we could be both looking at the same image of something, but we're each going to be seeing it even slightly differently through our own human programming and the lens of our own personality and our own unique perspective. So there's no two people that will have the exact same perspective on anything anyway. We will have close perspective, but actually, as we are awakening more and more, and our telepathy is opening up and our psychic abilities are opening up, we can have that shared vision, and we can see what the other is seeing and what the other is feeling, and then we can move towards a common goal that way. And I'm just seeing so much of this original divine blueprint and our divine birthright of our gifts and our abilities opening up in droves. I'm also seeing where those who have traditionally worked in magic, those who are the seers, the alchemists, the healers, the mystics, we're really going to start getting the rewards of the work that we've done in the background. So if you're someone who feels like you've had many standing against you and you've been having to, prove your place on this planet, you're going to start finding that you're going to get the support that you need, that people are going to start seeing really who you are, seeing your light as a good thing, and not so much seeing that beautiful light you carry as something that's highlighting their wounds. I think there's going to be less chucking of blame at the people who are speaking their truth, and a lot more coming into, oh, maybe they're seeing something that I need to pay attention to. Because the more of us that hold that flame of light, of love and truth, it's like moths to a flame, the more that we're spreading that light across the planet. And I just get the word harmony. Just try to be in harmony with yourself, with each other. And there's a beautiful phrase that you can say to yourself that will help to align you to this. I am in harmony with all life. I am one with unity, love, consciousness. And if you make that your mantra, I am in loving harmony with all life, that's going to help you to see your way forward through more of a lens of love and compassion, and to invite in more of a lens of love and compassion. And then if you just imagine in your mind's eye that you are right in the center of your world, that this world, imagine if this world was yours. You are the center of your own world, your own universe. From your perspective, everything is revolving around you. Okay, you are in the middle. So when you look around you at your planet, at your world, at your life, what do you want to see? Imagine it, and imagine you can feel it already, that harmony, and imagine you're living from that. The guides today said to me, who is the enemy? Who is us and who is them? Who is they? We're all part of that. And yes, there has been a misuse of energy on this planet for a long time. But if you could imagine, this is a very powerful technique, if you can imagine that every other human being and all life on this planet was your ally, was actually working to help in the betterment of you, and was actually silently cheerleading you from the sidelines, what would you do without fear of coming up against someone, without fear of reprisal? If there was no fear of, oh God, I'm going to upset somebody, what would you do? Who would you be? Where would you go? What would you give to the world without that fear of us and them or push-pull? And this is the perspective they want us to come at life from now. And if we zoom out from being the center of our world and we imagine that we're looking back at our beautiful planet, what would that planet look like? It's easier to zoom out on the perspective and see the whole earth as this beautiful blue-green sphere that she is. How can we help to make her more beautiful? We can do it by zooming out, seeing it from the higher perspective, seeing all the little humans and the animals and the plants doing their thing, just all trying to get by and survive. And we can see them doing it in harmony from a perspective, and then zoom our consciousness back in, sitting in the middle of that harmonized space. And it's a bit of a case of fake it till you make it. Imagine what it would feel like to be supported by everyone around you. Imagine what it would look like to be supported by everyone around you. Imagine what it would feel like if the whole of creation was supporting you, was conspiring to lift you and elevate you, and it was doing likewise for everybody, and everybody had permission to shine. These are just my internal churnings, think out loud thinkings for the day, and just a reminder that we can change the fabric of our reality from within. It all starts with our feelings. This is emotional mastery. This is why I developed the Water Alchemy Oracle, and all of my work, including Archangel Alchemy Healing, that one, my Archangel Fire Oracle, my Water Alchemy Oracle, all my workshops and courses are geared towards not just imagining heaven on earth, but really embodying it and living it and walking our talk. And I know that that's not always easy, but it is, it is incredibly fulfilling.